Okay, it's Walk 97.5 hanging out today, and our special guest in studio, singer-songwriter Nick Howard.
How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Hello, Nick. Thank you for coming today.
Absolutely. We cross-country skied our way out here today.
I was just going to say, you got your snowshoes, your galoshes, and everything on.
Yeah, exactly.
So this was, wow, thanks for making it in, first of all.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate
It's a real
it.
pleasure.
So you had a busy morning, New York television today?
Exactly, yeah. We did Good Day New York this morning, a nice early start. We were at the studio at 6. And then some radio in New York, and then came out here to You Fine People.
I know, and it's been a busy day, I guess, because you probably started real early.
Yep, there was an early wake up.
And now here we are, early afternoon. Snow is showing no signs of stopping.
Right, exactly. I was like, it's our busiest day of the week, and of course we're going to have a nice snowstorm.
I saw that too, because I thought you guys were going to come Monday,
right.
And then it became Tuesday, and I'm like, oh, geez.
It's a nice welcome to New York, nothing is easy.
That's all right, you got your
so.
scarf going.
Yeah, I'm rocking it, man. Yeah,
ready,
it's great. These boots are really great.
Deal
for
with the elements. So, originally, you are from England, yes?
Mm-hmm. That's correct, as I drink my tea like a good Englishman should.
Breakfast tea?
Of course, the only one.
Yep. And then, so certainly you're no stranger to like the north and the cold and the weather and whatnot.
I lived in New York City for 10 years, and so this is just like totally normal for me. So like getting out here was super easy.
When did you live in New York City?
I moved here 2005-ish, something like that, and lived there for a good 10 years, and then I had some stuff that kind of happened for me in Europe musically, so I went back over there for a couple of years. Then came back, and I'm in Nashville now, just to
I'm
confuse
just trying to
my
learn
accent
the
even more.
timeline in my head.
Yeah.
England, New York, back to Europe, Nashville.
Yep. Did a little stint in New York again.
Did you ever live in L.A.?
For about 6 months.
Okay. Everyone's got to do that.
Yeah, you got to record a record out there. That's it.
Yeah.
I recorded part of my two records ago out there, which it's great out there, but I'm a New Yorker at heart, I guess.
So when we think home, like Christmas morning on the couch, snuggled up, like where is home for you? Like,
home for me is like wherever my family are, and I've got family all over the place. A lot of my family moved over to the US as well. My sister actually lives not far from here in Huntington, so we actually do our Christmas out in Sag Harbor area these days.
Oh, beautiful!
Yeah, the whole family kind of convenes there. So really, Long Island is like really familiar to me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, we everybody kind of comes from wherever they might be in the world, and we convene there. So Christmas morning has been there for the last few years.
It's a good place to call home base.
It's nice. It's nice in the winter too, because it's kind of quiet out there, and not quite the scene that it is in the summer.
Yes, it is quiet. Yeah, I know. So tell me musically about how things started for you. I guess maybe in England.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first started? Playing in front of crowds and stuff.
I mean, music has been part of my life for as long as I can remember. I remember seeing Michael Jackson videos when I was about 6 or 7 years old and just thinking, like, that looks like a good job, So failing the moonwalk, which I couldn't do very well, I thought, well, I should probably write some songs. And I knew it was always going to be what I was going to do. I did it the long way around. I went to college and, got a job out of college in New York, and that's how I ended up over here. And I worked 9 to 5. After my 9 to 5, I go wait tables. After that, I go record or play a show. And I did that for about 5 years before I was able to kind of quit the day job and go music full time. And this is a very condensed version of events.
Right.
I started getting, opening spots for bigger artists, music and TV shows, stuff like that, and was able to do it. And then very luckily for the last 8 or 9 years, I've been doing that.
Did you have a moment where things kind of clicked for you?
Yeah, I would say like 2010. I just a series of things happened. I got on a tour with a band called Boyce Avenue over in Europe. Started booking a bunch of shows for myself here in the US, and I was able to say to my boss, I'm out, I'm doing this. And a couple of years later, I was on The Voice over in Europe, and I ended up winning that. So that was a nice kind of bump in the road for me too.
Right. So explain that. So where were you living at the time? How does that work? You apply, you audition?
Well, I'd started building a bit of buzz in Germany specifically through one reason.
Organically?
Yeah, organically. I was touring a bunch there. I was finding myself there like 6 months out of the year. I had a deal out of Germany, a record deal. And The Voice came to me and they said, would you like to be on the show as a contestant? And I was like, yeah, of course. They were like, well, you have to learn German so you can speak to the judges. I was like, oh, that's a small ask, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And music, you've got to be ready to do these crazy things. And I think sometimes you're kind of you make or break your career about regarding what you're going to say yes to. And I was like, I'll give it a good shot.
Get in where you fit in. They like you there.
It. Yeah, you do it. You can't.
Could you say something in German right now?
Deutschland, ich liebe euch. vielen Dank für eure Unterstützung. That means I love you, Germany. Thank you for all your support.
Of course.
They were the first like to really embrace, my music, and it was a great ride. I really enjoyed it.
All right, so that was 2012.
Yep.
And what followed that immediately?
Put out 3 records over the next couple of years after that, and toured.
Staying in Europe? Or?
Both in the US, and that's when I moved to LA. Recorded a record out there called Living in Stereo. Then I did an album in New York, here in New York 2 years ago, called All or Nothing. And just between that, I was just touring all the time. I opened for Eric. We were talking about my buddy Eric Hutchinson, who I'm going out with again in March. Opened for Train. Opened for Gavin DeGraw.
All good influences, all good
people.
Good guys to be on the road with.
Yeah, absolutely. The Gavin DeGraw one was like my first big show ever. It was Summerfest in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's a big music festival, and I remember him coming out of his bus and giving us saying really nice things about our show. And
one of the sweetest guys.
Yeah, it gives you a
business.
lift, Yeah. So that's what I've done, and I think I've played about 1,000 shows in my life all over the world, and I just try and keep it going.
What about anybody that you've produced with, written with, that has maybe changed your style a little bit or helped you break down walls?
I've been super fortunate to write with a bunch of really great writers and produce. I got 2 albums ago. I had a producer, Toby Gadd, who was a wealth of Grammy nods and number ones. That was a great experience for me. But I really the record that we're promoting right now, It's Our Time. I produced it in Nashville with some friends of mine. Who were the ones that we just told you left on a street corner in Manhattan somewhere, and we came out here. But this is the stuff I've been putting out recently is honestly my favorite stuff from both a writing perspective and a production perspective, because I feel like I'm not forcing it. I'm just doing what comes naturally at this point, and really able to enjoy it.
No, nothing's more fun and nothing's easier than when it just comes from you're in a good place.
Exactly. Yeah.
So talk to us about Our Time. What I the description that I read is a song that encourages unity, inclusion, empowerment, tolerance, kindness, and reminds people that we are more similar than we are different. That's actually really cool, because here at Walk 97.5 and all the Connoisseur Media radio stations, we have an initiative called One Song, One Us. And that description there of Our Time pretty much fits the description of this initiative to a T.
That's great.
Where every weekday at 2 o'clock, all of our radio stations in the company play a song that could be submitted by a listener as a request or chosen by the programmer or the DJ, and it will be a song with a good lyrics and a good message that pushes a similar meaning, like that we're all in this together, to build each other up and not break each other down and put our differences aside, and just remember, one song, one us.
That's amazing.
Certainly we'll be able to feature your song for that.
I love that. Thank you.
And maybe even have you record like a little vignette for us.
Of course, I'd love to do that. Yeah. It's I'm sort of been very blessed to play all these shows. I've met hundreds of thousands of people over the course of my career. And the one constant when I play a show is that everybody is in it together, like you said. Nobody's looking around at the person next to them, because everybody is connected by something inside. And that's the thing we all have in common. And music is such a great reminder of that. Music and sports are the two big things that bring people together. And people don't really care what you look like or, anything else about you other than that you're there for the same purpose. And I really, truly believe that humans are inherently good. People want to do the right thing. And we do our best stuff as a human race when we work together. And so there was a lot of division in this country, in my country, in the world. And I just wanted to write a song that reminded people that, we're all in this together. The more we work together, better we're all going to be. So that's what it's about.
Well put. Couldn't agree more. That's a beautiful message. And it's a great song too. But yeah, it's like when we're at a concert, we kind of forget where we are for a couple hours.
That's the whole point, right? That's why we go.
Just get lost in it.
Yeah, we want to find something that's going to resonate with us. That A, makes you feel like you're not alone, you're not the only one going through it, and B, you just want to be surrounded by other people who feel the same you do, And every time I play a show, it's like that. It doesn't matter if it's for 10 people. I played in front of 1 million people once in Berlin on New Year's Eve, and it's the same thing. It's the same vibe you get. And I'm first and foremost a music fan, so that's what I love to do, is to go and see shows. And I was saying here, I've played at the Paramount nearby, not too far. But I've seen a good few shows out here too.
What's one of your favorite shows you've ever seen anywhere worldwide?
First time I saw Paul McCartney, 2009, Citi Field. It was the first show they did at Citi Field. Billy Joel came on stage and saw us standing with him. I don't know. I'm happy to admit,
You're smiling right now.
I cry my eyes out for the first 2 songs. I was like, how am I seeing a Beatle right now? How am I seeing this? And it was amazing. So that's for me number one. And everyone else is great, but you can't beat Sir Paul.
Well, it's great to chat with you, Nick. It's wonderful
Likewise.
to meet you. I can tell you got music in your soul.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's go do a performance down the hall.
Love it. Let's do it.
Cool.